Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, the real, the fact is real. However, the interpretation is unreal. There are two things, a fact and its interpretation. You see something, this is a fact, but you interpret it according to your own understanding, according in your own way, according to your own identity, then it is interpretation. And all interpretations are unreal. So Sutra says, do not interpret. In reality, know nothing as pure or impure. There is nothing pure and impure because purity or impurity is our attitude imposed on reality. There is a reality. On that reality, we impose our ideas, our understanding, our attitudes. Try this. This technique is arduous, not simple, because we are so much oriented towards dual thinking, based and rooted in dual thinking, that we are not even aware of our justifications and condemnations. If someone starts smoking in a public place, you have not consciously felt anything, but you have condemned. Deep down within, you have condemned. Your look may have condemned the person. You may not have looked at the person and you have condemned. This is going to be difficult because habits do not change. Habits become deep rooted. Habits are related directly to our conditionings, our identities, and this forms the basis of ego. You go on just by your gestures, the way you sit, the way you stand. In everything you go on condemning, justifying, not even aware of what you are doing. When you smile at a person, or when you do not smile at a person, when you look at someone, or when you do not look at the person, you just ignore someone, do you know what you are doing? You are imposing your attitudes onto the person. This is part of interpretation. You say something is beautiful, then you will have, if you say something is beautiful, then you must condemn something as ugly. You cannot accept the things as they are. Simple thing. If you start living like this, people get confused. Almost every day, people call me or ask how, how things are, how is business. Things are as they should be. This is not a judgment. Things are as they should be. How are you as I should be? What kind of answer is this? Because we are conditioned to think either we are good or we are not. If you tell someone in response to the question, how are you? And you say that I have cold or something. Now interpretation begins. You have to be careful. This is the season, and I have also the same kind of a situation, and everybody in the house has cold. These are all interpretations. These are not needed. To avoid everything, things are as they should be. Otherwise, the whole set of stories and the talks and everything begins. If you say someone is angry and anger is bad, what would you do when you will feel angry? You will say this is bad, then there will be problems because you say that this is bad. This anger in me is bad. Then you have started dividing yourself into two portions, two persons. A bad person, an evil person, and a good person, a saint. The anger in me is good. You are not observing that it is coming to you. You are bound to be identified with the saint within and a good person. If you say that anger in me is bad, you are condemning, you are identifying yourself in a different way. Now you cannot be an individual, you will be a crowd. Something is good in you, something is bad in you, something is saintly and something is devilish in you. A house divided against itself. Now there will be no peace, no silence. You will feel only tension and anguish arising in you. This is what you are feeling, but you do not know why. This is the situation of each one of us. We are not one. Whenever a small situation comes in, we are divided within, between the pairs of opposites. A divided person cannot be at peace. How can be? First of all, you have to know how you are divided. You have two aspects of the mind. You can draw on a piece of paper two rectangles. One is the left side, the other is right side. In between, there is a gap. And that gap has your interpretations, your identities, your conditionings. So there, when a thought is moving from one side to the other side, there comes your own identities. When the current is flowing from one side to the other side, there is no direct flow. It has to pass through a medium. That medium is your conditionings. So it will get contaminated. As meditation deepens, the bird of consciousness begins to grow. The wings of love and dhyan, the wings start reaching a certain size and you start flapping your wings. The gap between the two starts narrowing and they starts overlapping the space that was the conditionings, and so they disappear. This is the state of harmony. Then you are at peace, because when you have to decide between the pair of opposites whether to do this or that, there is no delay. Instantaneously a decision comes in at that moment. At that moment. Otherwise, when it has to pass through with the gap between the two and it gets mixed with the contamination, with the conditionings, then the purity is lost. If there is something between, when the current is flowing from the positive to the negative pole, or in your battery, the two poles, between the two poles, there seems to be a distance, a gap, but internally there is no gap between the two. As soon as you turn on the ignition, the current flows, and the moment there is some contamination may come because of corrosion in the battery terminal, or any cell not working, then the current is not flowing. With the tumble, the battery will not activate the entire system. A divided person, when there is a gap between the objective and the subjective layers of your brain, you are divided. When you do not know, you are divided between this and that, between devil and saint. On one hand, you say that this extramarital relationship is not good. On the other hand, there is a feeling that I have to go through this. You are caught up in that. How you can be at peace? You do not know where to put the devil, your devil. You have to destroy it. And who you are destroying? You are destroying the part of you which is devil. You cannot destroy it. You are not two, you are one. You are one. The car battery is one. It has two terminals, just as you are one. You have two terminals, two hemispheres, the objective and the subjective part of the brain. So you are not subjective, you are not objective. Instead, you are balance. You are the harmony between objective and subjective mind. So slowly and slowly, as the wings of love and dhyan begins to grow, you start flapping your wings, you can start flying. You will soar into the infinite sky, and that you will realize that the entire sky is available to you to fly. And you continue. The reality is one. Reality is one. You need to fulfill your certain desires. This is the reality. Now you are interpreting it. The religion says it is not good, but deep down there is a need for you. But because of your divisible attitude, you have divided the outer reality into two. Now the inner is also divided accordingly. So everyone is fighting with himself. You cannot destroy one part of you to make the other part survive. Instead of that, you have to bring the harmony between the two. Love and dhyan are two sides of the same coin. You cannot destroy head for the tail or tail for the head. You have to understand the two are together, and in their togetherness there is a coin. So you are that coin which has the two sides. And if there is no gap between the objective and the subjective layers of the brain, then you are not divided, you are one. The decisions that you will make at that moment, it will be for your own growth or transformation. Is one wing important for the bird or the two? If there is only one wing, or you have 2 feet, left feet and the right feet, and left hand and the right hand, they are connected. As the left feet moves, the right hand also moves, and vice versa. If you have to cover a distance, you have to use those 2 feet together in harmony with one another. You cannot move the 2 feet together. One feet moves forward, the other is waiting to take the next step, and when the 2 steps are taken by the left and the right feet, that is one complete step, and a distance is covered. When you flap, the bird flaps the 2 wings, it is in flight. When love and meditation are together as 2 wings, then the bird of consciousness begins to fly. And with that, what happens? You grow into awareness. And as you grow into awareness, peace or blessings comes to you. Reality is one. The flight that you have to fly, but because of your divisible attitude, whether to use the left wing or the right wing, whether to use the left feet or right feet, with one feet you can simply hop, but you cannot walk. If you like to hop, then it's your choice. Now the inner is, if you are divided, divisible attitude, you have divided the outer reality into 2. It affects the inner also, because the interpretation is only of outer. You are going in the market, in the restaurant, you are thirsty. First, it has to be decided whether you want a hot drink or cold. But when you are thirsty, nobody wants a hot drink, want cold. Now in cold, you can use the water or a soft drink or a drink, water or a drink. Then drink again comes in a juice or a soft drink. Then in juice now, fresh juice or the bottled. So once you are clear about it, and because of that, the person says, you are thirsty, what you want? I have water, we have juices, we have soft drinks. This is outside. You are divided. Because of that, what to do? Then division reaches inner. And you are in a confused state. Simply because you are not able to decide whether to take the juice or the soft drink. Soft drink has a sugar content which is added to it. Natural juice have the natural sugar content in it, and a juice which is made. So that is, you take the juice concentrate, you add sugar, you add water, and you make the drink. This is outside, and because of that, now the inner is also divided accordingly. So everyone is fighting with himself, not able to decide what to do. You can start with the simple examples around you. Around you when you are thirsty. And when you want a hot beverage, again you are divided. Two options are available to you. Always options are available. You have to choose one, and that option that is available to you, it creates a division within you also. Division within you, because this is part of the business. It's not that everyone will take one hot beverage. So there is tea, and then there is coffee. Again, if you choose coffee, there are various options of it. Various options of coffee. You go to the coffee shop, options are available to you. If you are not divided within, you are one within, you will not take time to decide at that moment. There will not be any fight. So everyone is fighting with himself. So it is up to you. You are fighting against in you. One side, the objective brain is fighting with the subjective brain. One hand is fighting, left hand is fighting with the right hand. You never see that the left hand fights with the right hand. Both are doing it according to their capabilities. But I can oppose one against the other. My right hand against my left hand, I can create a conflict, a bogus fight. Sometimes I can deceive myself that right hand has won, and now the left hand is down, But this is a deception, because I know that it is in me. Both are in me, and any moment I can put the left hand up and the right hand down. Next moment I can have the right hand up and left hand down. Both hands are mine. So howsoever much you think you have put your saintly attitude, the subjective aspect, and crush the objective aspect or the devil in you, know that at any moment you can change the positions, and the saint will be down and the devil will be up. This is what happens many times in us. This situation comes in. That creates fear, insecurity, because you know that nothing is certain. You know you are so loving this moment, and you have crushed the hatred down to the ground. But you are afraid. Next moment, the afraid may surface, and your lovingness may be crushed down. And it can happen at any moment, because you are both attitudes are in you, the devil and the saint. The love and hate are both in you. You have not established to go beyond hate and love. Transcendence means you are going beyond the pair of opposites. Tantra says, do not divide, remain undivided. Only then you can be victorious. So when I say that things are as they should be, no interpretations. Because when the moment you judge according to your own, you have the criteria of your own, criteria for your own interpretation. Someone else may have a different criteria for his interpretations. So let you decide, I am not interested in. Because if I divide that the things are not good because of this, because of that, I will not be able to focus all my energies in one direction. Tantra says do not divide, and the mind says division is the way. Consciousness is the bird. Remember that. Consciousness is not thought process. Because of this, when consciousness interacts with the mind, its conditionings, then thoughts arise. Be undivided, then you will be victorious. How to be undivided? Simply by not condemning, not by judging. Do not say this is good and that is bad. Just withdraw all conceptions of purity and impurity. So what I did, removed all conceptions, interpretations of it, and I go beyond good and bad. Things are as they should be. The breeze does not tell you how it will blow, yes, it can be predicted. The wind, that's a different matter. It is blowing. So you adjust yourself according to the flow. When you are going out on a cold winter morning, the breeze, there is, it is winter and it is cold outside. So instead of having interpretations, you have prepared yourself, you are undivided, saying that there the snow is too much or too less. If you are going for skiing and there is a snow, it has a beauty of it. Simple thing, when rain falls, is it good or it is bad? If you have a dating and you do not have the vehicle, then the rainfall, you will say it has destroyed everything. But it will be a blessing for a farmer. So the thing is one, the interpretation is according to your innerness, according to your own conditionings. So simple it is there. When rain is falling, you have to go for dating. You be prepared, carry an umbrella with you or a raincoat, or use your vehicle. So when you come out of the vehicle, you need an umbrella. So you keep an umbrella for that situation to arise, rather than condemning or criticizing anything that this is bad, that is good. Just withdraw all conceptions of purity and impurity. Purity and impurity is used as one thing for all pair of opposites. Krishna says, who is a saint, tells Arjun, one who is equipoised in heat and cold. Sitoshna, sheet means cold, ushna means summer. Cold and wind, cold and summer. One who is equipoised in the two, undivided between the two. These are I have not done this cold and winter. It is because of, it is the seasons, the cold season, the winter, the summer, the hot, the rainy season. So, this is how the things are. And you are not divided into it, you are prepared for it. So then, if you are prepared, you will withdraw all conceptions of purity and impurity. One who is equipoised, without any interpretation, without any conceptions, then what it is happening? He will be blissful, happy. Sitoshna samadukha. He is equipoised in pain and pleasure. Sitoshna, heat and cold. In the pair of opposites, he is equibalanced. Between the right foot and the left foot, he is equipoised. He is not decisive. He is not judgmental that right foot is important or the left foot is important. Both are necessary for walking. The two wings, the left wing and the right wing, if one wing of the aircraft starts malfunctioning, the flight will be affected by it. So it is the two, the balance between the two, the balance between the devil in you and the saint in you creates the wings, flight, and you begins to fly. You are in flight when the two wings are flapping at the same speed without any malfunctioning. And when you lay stretch your two wings, then you are floating. So life, the objective is to float. When the two wings, love and dhyan, they are lay stretched, you are simply floating. And what is in the sky? The bird floats in the sky, it flaps its wings, and then it stretches wings wide and simply floats. When in the beginning you have to flap your wings left, the love and dhyan. Then when you are in the flight, you stretch your two wings, love and dhyan, and you are simply floating in the inner sky of bliss, harmony and oneness. What is the sky? The bliss, the harmony, the oneness is the sky. Things are as they are. A real tantric will not say that thief is bad. He will say that he is a thief, that is all. He is not judging. And by using the word thief, there is no condemnation in his mind. When someone tells me about this or that, my opinion is not there. If from within you feel that way, then means that is what is needed at that moment. This thief is just a fact, not a condemnation. If someone says here is a man who is a great saint, Tantric will say, okay. So you haven't said anything? No, there is no need. The fact is this, you said he is a saint. If I say how he is a saint or why he is a saint, this is imposing something on the reality, the fact. Fact is real and all interpretations of it. How, why, he is a thief. And then the moment you say this man is a thief, many kind of thoughts and interpretations starts coming to your mind. You be careful. See, be careful with that person. He is a saint, but there is no evaluation in it. There is no evaluation in it about that he is a thief. He will not say he is good. He will not say, okay. He is a saint and the man is this man is a saint and that man is a thief. Just like this is rose and that is not rose. This tree is high, that tree is low. Night is dark, day is bright. But without any interpretation, you are expressing reality as it is, without any interpretations on your part. Without any interpretation on your part. But any interpretation is dangerous. Society cannot exist without condemning one thing and without appreciating the other. Society cannot exist. Society exists in duality. That is why Tantra is suppressed. It was thought to be antisocial, but it is not. It is not. But that is the very attitude of Tantra, is the attitude of non-duality. And non-duality leads to transcendence. Non-duality leads to transcendence. Non-duality alone is transcendental. It is not antisocial. It is transcendental. It is beyond society. Society means duality, divided between man and a woman. Try this. Just move in the world without any value, just with natural facts, reality. Someone is this, next one is that, and then by and by you will feel a non-division within yourself. Your polarities will be coming together, just as in the car battery the polarities come together. It is not that the hot pole is important or the negative pole is important. Both are necessary for transcendence. And the starting of the car is transcendence. Without the transcendence, no progress can happen in life. If the battery, the hot and cold pole, do not transcend beyond their individualities, their car will not start. It will remain dead. And the moment the battery goes beyond the duality, and in that everything, the entire car system comes into aliveness, and in that aliveness you cover the distance, you reach where you have to be. The purity of other teachings is impurity to us. This is the sutra says. What you consider as pure may not be pure for the other. So this is why there is a division of religion and there is conflict. What Muslims consider as pure, Hindus consider as impure. The ways and means of the Hindus is considered as against the will of Allah by the Muslims. Tantra says what is basic for others is poisonous for other. For example, you are teaching which are based on non-violence. They say violence is bad, non-violence is good. Tantra says that non-violence is non-violence and violence is violence. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. The celibacy is celibacy. The involvement is involvement. What it says, when you are involving, be aware. When you are going into celibation, be aware. The awareness is most important at every moment. The celibate is good, and that the one who is in sex is also good. You have chosen that way. He has chosen that way. Tantra accept things as they are. The moment you accept things as they are, there will not be any interpretation, there will not be any judgmental. This is a technique to create unity within you. You can start with simple examples. When you have a choice to do this or that, see how divided you are. You are thirsty, you want something to drink. The thirst can be quenched with water, but water is tasteless. The soft drink has a little more zest in it or something, but it cannot quench your thirst. But it tastes better than the water. So you go for that. Then in between in the soft drink, there are certain artificially created soft drinks with different flavors. Coke is one flavor, Sprite is another flavor. The juices are different flavors artificially created. So you are divided into it. Try an experiment that you are not divided between, and you make the instant decision out of your harmony within. Then what's the difference between the orange juice, grapefruit juice? Orange juice and grapefruit juice and Portugal juice, they are all rich in vitamin C. Much higher quantity of vitamin C content is there in it. As compared to that, carrot juice, watermelon juice, this also has a quality of, this also has a percentage of vitamin C. So when you have to choose, I am not saying that every morning, every time you choose one type. That is also your own way that you take that one. But at times the body requires more vitamin C. At times it requires vitamin A, which is available in carrot juice or watermelon juice. The quantity, the content of vitamin A will be less in orange juice. Vitamin C content will be more. So if your body requires vitamin C more, you are choosing, but we decide based on our mind. Jesus says somewhere, "Judge ye not that ye not be judged." But this was impossible for Jews to understand, because the whole Jewish concept of morality is, Jewish concept is morality oriented. This is good, that is not good. Jesus in his teaching says, "Judge ye not, that ye not be judged," is talking in terms of Tantra. And there is a reason Jesus has spent a lot of time, the years when, the missing years, where was he? And all of a sudden he appears when Moses was baptizing with the people standing in the Jordan River. Jesus appears in front of Moses to be baptized. Moses felt an energy field. He looked at, he realized who was standing in front. Jesus says, "Judge ye not, ye not be judged." So his entire conditioning, his way of His teaching was based in Buddhist and Tantric teachings. He spent a number of years in Tibet. It is documented. There it is known as not Jesus but Isa. Isu. In India it is called Isa Masih. The word is used. So do not say that prostitute is bad. Who knows? And don't say that Puritan is good. Who knows? And ultimately, they both are part of the game. They are based on each other. One defines the other. On mutual existence. So Jesus says, judge ye not that ye not be judged. And this is the sutra, means judge ye not, that so that ye not be judged. If you are non-judging, you will not be judged in any way. Nobody will judge you. But if you are judgmental, everybody will judge you. If you are not judging, not taking any moral standpoint, simply observing facts as they are, not interpreting them in any way, you cannot be judged by anyone. You have transformed completely, you have transcended. Now there is no need for you to be judged by any divine power. There is no need. You have become divine yourself. You have become God yourself. And God means not a person sitting somewhere, the state of witness, not a state of judgment. The moment you are a witness, you are beyond the duality, and God means beyond duality. God and devil, they are divisions of the mind. The moment mind is non-judgmental, the moment mind is witnessing, that is what the emphasis of Buddha, the middle path. Neither this nor that. Walking is witnessing, because it is beyond both left and the right feet. Flying in the sky is beyond the left wing and the right wing. It is a witness. Witness is transcendence. Witness is bliss. Bliss is witness. Witness is bliss. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, we will take the questions in response to these talks. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.